Okay, so I just got off the call out here in the middle of the sticks, we'll call that. It was a custom PC, and it was given an error of, I think it was 2 mice, 2 keyboards, 2 monitors, but they weren't attached. Help desk called it a motherboard issue, so ship out a motherboard. We sent a tech out to install it. It's all under warranty. Tech comes out to install the board. The board's not there apparently. This is from the customer. So it gets rescheduled. I don't know if the tech actually came out the day or if he got scheduled. I think he got scheduled. They worked out the part hadn't shipped, so they unscheduled him, called the customer, let him know what was going on. So the tech is apparently coming up from Newcastle to the sticks in Ohio here. So he comes up, I think it was 2 days ago, when we had some really bad snow. And by bad snow, I mean we had the 2-inch dusting with high winds. Actually said, due to inclement weather. I like that. So he comes up, he puts the motherboard in the computer. Now, mind you, we sent out, from what I understand, we sent a new motherboard, and I'm going to imagine it came in a retail box or in a box with the motherboard backing plate. That's the plate that goes in the back of the PC that, like, your keyboard slots, all your USBs, your video, and all that stick through. So he takes the old board out, and apparently they weren't the same model. Takes the old board out, puts the new board in, shoves it up to the old backing plate. Nothing lined, well, I can't say nothing. Like 5 ports lined up. And the rest of it's kind of stuck in the middle and it's a little off. He screws it all down, hooks it back up. How did he look at that and go, oh yeah, that looks totally fine. Yeah, that looks good. Like, did he honestly even look? It's like, oh, yeah, beautiful. So then, once I saw that, I'm suspicious, I tell you, suspicious. I'm suspicious at that point now, because I'm like, well, he cheated there, where else did he not do? Pull the heatsink, it's a water-cooled heatsink. Pull the heater, the water block will pump off. And underneath it is original thermal compound. He never cleaned the compound off. There's dust in this compound. Not in it, but around it, because it had been there so long. So now my next question is, did he add more? Because you look at it and it's just this cake. It looks like they frosted a cake, which is not how you apply which is not how you apply thermal compound. So he's got a processor. He had to take it off because he changed the board. So he had to take off the heatsink. He had to take off the processor. He's seen it. How did he not go, I should change that paste? How did he not know it? Like, if a technician went to your site to change your motherboard, the technician should be wise enough to know, yes, I have to take off the CPU, the RAM. You know, there's things have to be removed, and they have to go back in. And you need thermal paste to put a heatsink onto a CPU. So he should have brought some with him. Sometimes it's provided, sometimes it's not. It's always good to have your own, though. You should bring it with you. You're told. Our company tells you, bring all the materials and tools necessary with you to site, which makes sense. So I take that off, clean the old paste, just dried up, crusty heatsink compound on everything. Just gok-sided on it. Like someone just took a cake knife and like an entire tube of Arctic silver and just went at it. I'm like, okay. Clean all that up. Clean the CPU, clean the heatsink, pull the board out. I didn't do any cable management. This thing just looks like spaghetti just got tossed in there. And I mean, I'm not asking for cable porn or anything. I'm just asking for it to be neat. You have a case and you want good airflow. This case has 6 fans in it. Dude, they're like 120, 160 millimeter fans. They're big fans. And I'm like, why would you leave a wire mess? So pull the board, pull the backing plate out that was there. So right now it has no backing plate. I ordered a new one from support. I got the board out. I tucked the wires in, zip tied up nice and neat. Put the new board in, put the cleaned up CPU, well, the CPU I left in and I cleaned it in the board. Cleaned it up real good, got all the old compound off, put fresh compound on it, cleaned the heatsink, put it all back in the board, check the power supply, make sure it's all good, I'm getting good power out of it. That one had a lot of ripple. It was like, I think, 250 millivolts of ripple on both the 5 and 12 volt rails, which is excessive, but the computer was acting fine. I'm going to attest it to possibly all the fans or that power supply just doesn't have enough capacitance to smooth the power out all the way. In whatever case, that's the biggest deal because it was working. As a courtesy to the customer, you should always clean your heat sinks, fans, case, wherever you find dirt, clean it. I mean, what's 5 minutes? Can of air, done. Or just go, fixed. Pull a cat of lint out of this double radiator assembly. So I put that back in. It's like, you're in there, clean it. Do something nice for the customer. It's value-added service. Comes right up, nice and happy. Like, what was the dysfunction with the previous tech? You mean, how hard was that? Given I spent like an hour cleaning it all up, at some point that case was probably neat. Someone probably pulled it all apart to make it all fit, and then since the new board and the old board didn't match, all the fan arrangements didn't work either. So he was seriously leaving a fan unplugged. He's like, well, I can't plug it in nowhere. You have a Y adapter, and then there's like the fan on the top, and there's two in the front. So you take the Y adapter, hook the two in the front up, hook it up to the front fan hookup on the board, take the one that's on the top, plug it into the second CPU fan in the back, the second CPU fan port in the back. One of the water coolers goes in the case fan, the other water cooler goes in the CPU fan. There's an auxiliary for the pump that's already on the board. It's made for this. So I only had to split one fan into two because, of course, it was made for a single front case fan, and they're running a dual, which might be a problem in the long run. But at least now there's only one splitter. There was two in it before, and that guy didn't even get hooked up right. Like, I don't know. Apparently, I care about my job too much, and these people don't. They said he was really anxious to get out there because it was snowing. Like, you live in Ohio, or you live near Ohio. There's no reason you should be like, oh my God, snow. Nothing. It was a dusting. It was like 2 inches. We're made for this. We eat cold for breakfast. Butchery, and I don't get it. Like, why don't you guys do it right once? One tech could have came out, did it right, been fixed, been done. Everyone would have been happy. The customer would have been happy. It would have been fixed in one trip. It'd have looked good. It'd have functioned correctly. And why people can't do the job? Like, it's your job. You're getting paid. You're supposed to be, a technician. We're field techs. We're supposed to be, I won't say we're supposed to be experts, but if you're working in the field, you should at least know better than someone who's sitting at like a level 1 help desk. It's like, you need to be able to not only identify what a computer is and have turned it on more than once, you need to know how to fix it. And really, PC troubleshooting is pretty straightforward because you can almost look at it and figure out what's wrong. Troubleshooting is not hard. It's just a process of elimination. And usually if you're going to go that route, you're going to go with the most obvious things first, and you're going to go with the things that are common. It's like, well, this thing has this issue, and we'll just go with that. And then, ta-da, it's fixed. Why can't they do this? People are just like, I'm not so much with the users, because I'm happy that users don't know what's going on, because that keeps me in a job. As long as the users are like, I push this button and this happens, and when I push this button and it don't happen, I call you guys. I'm totally cool with that. Back out there, and he's like, I don't understand this piece of equipment. Why did you take work on it? The funny one was the builder, whoever built the computer originally, and I imagine put all that the heatsink compound on it. A high-end video card, right? And it has two fans on it. It's got a nice cover, like a face. And the face has a piece of film that says remove before use. It was still on the fan when I got there, which means it was missed by the builder. It was missed by whatever tech came out first, the second tech, and then I get there, I'm like, why is this peeled off? People go out like, we couldn't fix it. Why? Did you open your eyes? I swear, I think people look at shit with their ass. They just, pull their pants down, put their ass up too, and go, yep, can't see the problem here. Because if you turn around and look, you'd see it. Again, I just don't understand these people. Like, this is such simple stuff. It's like no-brainer things. This is broke, fix it.